People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube. People are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-peopla.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at peopla.etsy.com. And the peacock swirl is solid, or at least 95% solid, so I'm going to cut it before it gets too hard because I know the recipe I use, which means I also know what will happen if I wait too long. It will break, and that will not be conducive to what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up on the cutting portion of the mode, and then chop it up and let you see. And if you look at the bottom side of it, it's not very impressive, as in it's nearly pure white. But the top part is where the design is. I'm thinking future peacock swirls, I'm not going to do the white base. I'm just going to go ahead and just do the whole design all the way through because that's the look I'm going for. In the meantime, they are almost all healed up. A lot of the sutures have fallen out. I can talk again. Probably might not be able to be understood as well, but I can talk again. And I no longer have a painful sensation all through here from the swelling, because a few people have asked. And I'm also out of curing boxes, so I'm going to be putting this here once I'm done with the cut. Okay. Hold on. That got solid all the way through. There we go. Well, it's like 99% solid. You can see that some of it is soft in the middle. But I'd rather it be a little soft in the middle as opposed to totally hard, and then you'll have to literally break off a chunk of it instead of being able to cut in a, pleasing format. Okay. I'm thinking of getting one of those modes that right after you do it, you push the thing through and it becomes a divider. That would make it easier, because then at that point it sets up like the individual mode. Haven't quite mastered the talking thing yet with my teeth like this, as you can guess. Okie-dokie. Now, line that up. And I'm thinking the next time I do this, because that was 80 ounces, but it's kind of flat, I'm going to make a much bigger presentation thereof. we go. Oh, I didn't stop it. Let me do that first, since it is getting solid rather quickly. Oh, well, first let me put it on my board. Ooh, nice. Some of the pattern came out on that, so you can actually see the swirl taking shape. And this is made with silk and chocolate. Oh, somebody asked me, is silk expensive to get? And I suppose if I was buying silk, it would be. But here's my silk. I took one of my favorite scarves that was getting old, had a little hole in it, and I washed it, sterilized it, cut it into 1-inch strips, and then I cut the 1-inch strips into 1-inch pieces, and I put it in a plastic bag. And when I make silk for my soaps, I use actual silk. The lye breaks it down into silk amino acids, and that's the finished product that ends up in the soap. Because when they make silk amino acids or a piece of Tulsa silk to put in soap, that's the only thing they're doing is they're giving you a piece of raw silk, and you're paying extra money. That silk is already silk. The molecular structure does not change at all during the process of silk thread to little piece of silk. So, you know. Now, testing out theory. You know I'm always evolving. But anyway, you can see the stamp marks. I'm going to use the lid, so that way when I turn it over, it doesn't do that plop out thing, which many folks apparently have found amusing and told me so. There we go. Nice. Now let's show you the cut pieces. Move this off of the lid. Slide it on over. Yeah, that was a good idea. I'll have to remember that for next time. In the meantime, ooh, that looks neat even on the inside. Ta-da. But as you use the soap, the top side will always be a peacock swirl. Different layers with the coloring and all, but there'll always be a peacock swirl. I did use a paper towel on top to mat out the texture. It's almost like a swirl inside the swirl. course, this soap is a big old chunk. I do intend to get a different slab mold that I can make thicker. But for right now, this will work. Because it's still a healthy sized piece of soap that happens to be very, very pretty. That one went almost all the way through with the design. Isn't that cool? Oh, I have it upside down. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to adjust the lighting. There we go. You will not believe how good it smells. Wait a minute. Let's turn it around that way. Some of these are getting, they're kind of soft. But they're hardening up and starting to stick to itself. So let's just separate those out, shall we? And for some reason, this camera keeps freezing on me. Probably needs an upgrade, and it hasn't done it yet. So I'm just going to assume that right here, it can be seen. And I will be taking pictures. And it's the middle of summer, towards the end of summer, so the adolescents of this neighborhood are basically going crazy. Fussing, fighting, yelling, all that good stuff. So it's a bit noisy in the neighborhood. Mom's home. So you're about to hear someone scream my name across all tarnation. I'm definitely going to do this again. I have an idea in mind as a thank you gift. I don't know what scent I'm going to use. I just can't do it yet and talk about it because one of the people that the gift idea is for happens to watch my videos. So when it's time, they'll know. He or she, not saying which. Let's just say them. They will know. Yes, they will. Now this fragrance oil worked out beautifully for this technique. But this fragrance oil also rebels during C-pop. So the next one, the gift idea, that will be a C-pop. I'm going to use a different fragrance oil, but I'm going to test it first to make sure that it will, in fact, work for this technique. I think I'm going to stand those up. Let them smell at the world. Yeah. And it smells so amazing. Ooh. I'm glad I did cut it when I did. I'm going to look at the time so that way I can pinpoint how long to let it stay in the mold. Because there's a couple of places where it just kind of crackled off. Like right here. Any longer and it would have broke completely. I think I want all my butterflies facing upwards. Okay, that piece is too short for that. Oh, that's an end piece, that's why. The end pieces on this mold seem to be a little bit taller than the rest of the soaps. So that makes it a little bit more difficult when it comes time to, let's say, stack them like this. Here we go. Actually, let's do it this way. That way you from. And some cut off on me. They'll be able to be seen. There we go. There we go. I have to adjust that pyramid a little bit because, well, it's about to collapse the whole thing, and that won't be good. Yeah. I like doing silk pyramids, but time is always a factor when you do. And there's been people selling on Twitter and YouTube, people elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. Bye now.